Hey guys, it's Amber. Welcome to my channel and to my after melting thoughts on the 25 Bring Back My Bar fragrances for January of 2023. It's still crazy saying 2023. I'm not used to it at all. 2022 seemed to just fly by. It's nuts. So anyway, I've gotten a chance to melt all of them, and these are my initial thoughts after melting. I'll probably I'll melt them again, so some thoughts could change, but as of now, these are my initial after melting thoughts and reviews on all 25 scents. I will go through them from my least favorite to my most favorite. That's how I've broken them down. That way it's an easier countdown for you, so to speak. Of course, this is all subjective because we all have different noses, so we smell different things, we prefer different things, that sort of thing. So just because I like a scent or not like a scent, there are scents that I wasn't really a fan of, doesn't mean that you wouldn't like it or that there's anything wrong with you liking the scent that I may not like. So we all have different noses and it's all good. So let's just jump into it. I will start first of all by saying I did not melt this one, green tea smoothie. As for those of you that have watched prior videos, you should know that I am allergic to ginger. This has ginger in it, and I can tell it's a pretty heavy ginger just from smelling it on cold. So I'm not gonna torture myself by melting this and having an allergic reaction, obviously. So this one I didn't melt, so it's technically my lowest, but I never melted it. So it's not even really part of my list. So that being said, my number 24 pick is Pima Cotton. This is straight up laundry. When it was melting, it was a strong laundry, and to me, it's like a generic laundry detergent that you would find in the store. So nothing really that appeals to me in regards to home fragrance, nothing that makes it stand out, in my opinion. Like at least with a scent like Magnolia Linen, it is a more unique laundry fragrance. This to me, like I said, is just kind of a generic laundry scent. So since I don't like those types of home fragrances normally, it gets the number 24 spot. So there's that one. The number 23, and this one I kind of almost put as my least favorite. But Pima Cotton, like I said, since I just don't really do laundry in regards to home fragrance, I do my laundry, obviously. But in regards to melting or burning a candle, that type of scent, it's just not for me. So that one got the lowest. And then this one comes in at number 23. It is Flirtatious. I thought because of the notes that I would like this one, that there's something in it. So the notes were like green apple. What were the other notes? Green apple, and I know like white amber and musk, and there was something else that I normally like. I don't know what it is about this one, but there's some sort of, I think it's a floral that a lot of times will read stinky to me, especially since I've had COVID the last time this past June. It really changed how I smell and taste things, whereas things that I used to like, I'm not a big fan of still. There's some things that have kind of gotten better for me, but there are still some things that I just don't appeal to me anymore, which is sad. So I think it's since then something in some of Scentsy's scents, like a few of their aquatic scents and just some other scents. There's like a floral. I'm pretty sure there's some sort of floral in this, even though it's not in the notes, because I get it in, like I said, some of the other scents that Scentsy does that are like aquatic in nature that I think have that same note. That, especially when it was melting, it was just stinky to me. I wasn't a fan of it. And like I said, because of the notes that it did read, I thought I would like it. I didn't like it. This is the only one really where I would say that I disliked, to where I probably wouldn't melt the rest of it. I'll probably give it to my daughter because she does like florals. And I like florals if it's like a sweet floral. But that one, I don't know. There was something off-putting to my nose. So anyway, that's enough of that one. Okay, number 22 goes to cucumber lime. This is another one that my nose and taste buds changed with this last time I got sick. I don't like cucumber anymore, and I used to love eating cucumber. And usually cucumber was fine. In some fragrances, it's still fine, like aloe water and cucumber I like. But the cucumber in this one, it was too strong on cold, but I was hopeful that it would be better warming. It was still too cucumbery. And that more, less sweet cucumber version that I wish there had been more lime. Too much cucumber, and the lime in it was kind of not the lime I normally like, so I don't know. So to me, it wasn't a home run. That is cucumber lime. It comes in at number 22. Number 21 for me is coconut palm. So this one I was nervous about before I smelled it on cold because it says it has patchouli in it. I don't like patchouli normally, but on cold it was nice. I just kind of got coconut, like an authentic coconut scent. And warming it, I still kind of got that. I didn't really get patchouli, or I think green notes is the other note to it. It was a straight up coconut, kind of earthy. Maybe that's what the patchouli gives it. But it's very light. It was very light for me. And so unfortunately, I wish it had been stronger because I do feel like it would be a good mixer type fragrance, to add a little extra punch of tropical to other scents. There's actually one in the further up on the list that I thought might be good with this, but because it's so light, I don't think it would end up working out. So that's coconut palm. It was light for me, so unfortunately it was lower on the list. Okay, number 20 goes to Flower Shop. I didn't mind this one. It is green. It's like the stems and the leaves and ferns. It's the greens that you would find in a flower shop. And that's what you got when it was melting. On cold, it feels overwhelming, but when it was warming, it wasn't super, super overwhelming. It was probably a medium high for me, but still not like to where you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm being suffocated by plants or anything like that. It's nice. And it there was like a peppery quality that came out in it when it was melting. You know, like some stems, at least I've noticed, like some floral stems and stuff, when you cut them to put them in a vase, you do get kind of like a pepperiness to the greens. And that's kind of what I get with this too. So it is like the stems, the leaves, a little bit of a peppery green quality, and almost like a soil quality too. It was nice. It's probably not one I would go out of my way to melt again, but I didn't dislike it. I thought it was, for what it was, for a different type of fresh scent, is a good one. If you like fresh cut grass, that's the only one that I can think of that's a pretty comparable to Flower Shop. If you liked that one, which was in a Bring Back My Bar, I think almost 3 years ago now, I think you would like this one. So that's Flower Shop. Okay, number 19. Let me get the rest of these. Okay, number 19 goes to Peppermint Rush. I normally love peppermint scents. This one was fine. It was another one that was lighter for me, which was a bummer. And it gave off when it was melting. It kind of on cold too. It's like peppermint chewing gum. So my favorite type of chewing gum is, I think it's like Cobalt peppermint. It's like 5 is the one that has the 5 on it. Anyway, so that's what this smells like to me when it was melting. It smells like that gum, my favorite gum, but it's not really something I want melting in my house necessarily. I like sweeter peppermint scents, candy cane-ish type peppermint more than this type of peppermint. Plus it was light. I couldn't smell it all that much. So that's Peppermint Rush. It gets number 19 on my list. Next up is number 18, which is Sticky Cinnamon Bun. I was really hoping to like this one. I don't dislike it. It's just, to me, I don't get much in the way of any sort of bakery. I just get the cinnamon filling of a cinnamon roll is what I get, and not much else. It's very cinnamon heavy to my nose. This would probably be good mixed with something else, maybe to amp up some other scents in it. This might be good with Crumb Top, which is in Bring Back My Bar. You could probably mix it with Vanilla Bean Buttercream. So it would be a good mixer, but on its own, it is very, to me, just the cinnamon filling in a cinnamon roll. So that's why I got the number 18 spot. So that's Sticky Cinnamon Bun. The next one, in the number 17 spot is Pear Blossom and Cucumber. Now, if you remember from On Cold, this was one of my top ones. Warming, it was on the lighter side in Open Concept. So I put it in my powder room, small bathroom, and then that cucumber came out a lot more. So I wasn't a fan of it then. But it's like a perfumier, sweet version of aloe water and cucumber, but aloe water and cucumber is a better performer. And the cucumber in that one, like I said previously, doesn't bother me. Like in the small space, it ended up bothering me more. But only for the first few hours. Like this is the one that's still going right now in my powder room. So for half a day, I got the cucumber pretty strongly. Now I'm not getting it as much now that it's been more than half a day. So that's that one. So that's why this is number 17. It was good, but not something I would probably purchase again. Like I said, too light in Open Concept and kind of too cucumbery, at least at first for me, in a smaller space. Okay, next one we have is number 16 is Cranberry Muffin. So this is cranberries. I know I said like nuttiness. And what was the other notes? Toffee, like a muffin accord or something. I don't know. This one's fine. The cranberry in it reminds me a lot of, the whole scent reminds me quite a bit of candied cranberry pecan. So the cranberry is sweeter and it's more of I don't want to say like a fake cranberry necessarily, but more like a box cranberry muffin that uses like a cranberry, like an artificial cranberry syrup or powder mixed into it, rather than an authentic, like you put cranberries in the muffins. To my nose, that's what I get. And then The second note is probably, there is a nutty walnut or something quality to it, which I think is why it reminds me so much of candied cranberry pecan, because those are the two notes I pick up the most. And then you do get a bakery muffin note to it. So thankfully it's not non-existent like sticky cinnamon bun for me, where I don't even get any sort of like cakey bakeryness. This one does have that. So it's nice. I just wish to my nose that the cranberry was a little more authentic cranberry rather than that like artificial type of note. So I was going to call it candied cranberry pecan. Cranberry muffin. That is my number 16 spot. The next one, number 15. So I'm moving into ones that I would consider repurchasing now. I did enjoy them, but not enough to like stock up on or put in my club. Nothing like that. But I wouldn't be opposed to getting more of. So the first one, number 15, is melon and apple granita. This is one I was worried about a little bit because of the melon. I feel like I'm being very negative in this video, and I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I'm not a huge melon home fragrance person. And so I was nervous about this one. But to turn it positive, on cold, I did enjoy it. It was still kind of melony. But when I warmed it, it was a lot more of a good balance between the apple and the melon. It's still probably a little more melon than I would like, which is probably why I'm not huge, like over the moon about it. But it is similar to my nose to Skinny Dippin', which used to be like one of my all-time favorites. I've been buying Scentsy since like 2007, and Skinny Dippin' has been around since then. So that used to be one of my all-time favorites. And maybe I just don't like melon anymore because I like overdid it with the Skinny Dippin'. I don't know. So I'm just not a fan of melon in home fragrance all that much anymore. So, but this is very along the same lines as Skinny Dippin'. Maybe a little brighter though, because I think there's like a citrus note too in this, if I remember right. But it's nice, and like I said, it would be one that I would consider getting another bar of. So that's melon and apple granita. Okay, this next one is one that used to be in my Scentsy Club because it came out in the Bring Back My Bar in 2020, January 2020, I think it was, and that is Spiced Berries. This is my number 14 spot this time because there's so many more that I ended up liking more than this one, but I still really like this one. It's really nice. So it's like frankincense, myrrh, and dark berries is what it is. So it's more of an incensey version of a berry scent. It's really nice. And warming, it just gives this pleasant type of like earthy, deep, spicy berry scent. So it's very nice. Between this one and one that's further up on the list, I did this time around end up liking the other one more. That I mentioned was similar. So we'll get to that one. But that is Spiced Berries. So very nice. It's similar to, I don't know if it's available. I know it was available for a while in the clearance, and that was Joy and Wonder. It's kind of along the same lines as Joy and Wonder or another one I'm going to talk about. So that is Spiced Berries. Okay, next one, number 13. Let me find it. There it is Coconut Pumpkin Pie. So this one is like pumpkin puree, nutmeg, coconut shavings, some other stuff. I don't remember. This is nice. I really don't get coconut. This is the one that I was going to say mixing coconut palm with to amp up the coconut. But since that one was so light for me, I probably wouldn't even try it. This is nice pumpkin pie filling. Oh, that was the other note, maple sugar. So you do get a tiny bit of sugary maple quality to it with the pumpkin. The spice isn't too, it's not strong really. And I really don't get much in the way of coconut. I asked my husband if he did. He said he could smell it a little. But for me, it just wasn't like a standout. It was nice. It was pleasant. But as far as pumpkin scents go, it wasn't a favorite. But it would be one I would consider, you know, wouldn't be opposed to getting another bar of. So, okay, next one in the number 12 spot is hazelnut latte. This is hazelnuts, steamed milk, and espresso, I think is the notes. And it's nice. You get mostly the hazelnut and the milk. You do get a little bit of coffee notes. The other notes are stronger though. It was nice, slightly bitter to my nose. Not unpleasant, but of the two coffee scents, this one was less of a fave for me. So this got the number 12 spot, hazelnut latte. Okay, next one in the 11th spot is woodland suede. This one is very nice. It is a masculine, slightly cologne-y scent along the same lines as what I would, not scent-wise along the same lines, but cologne-ish wise as My Dear Watson or Blue Sage and Tonka, along those lines. So it is an outdoorsy scent and it has a slight cologne feel to it, slightly masculine. It's nice. There's a sweetness to it, but masculine at the same time. It's a really, really nice scent. It was pleasant, not overwhelming when it was melting. Very nice medium quality. But for me, I know some people didn't get as much of a cologne quality to it, but for me, I do get a slight cologne to the scent, but not unpleasant at all. So that is Woodland Suede. I did enjoy that one. Okay, next up is Crumb Top as number 10. This is a very nice mixer. It's very yummy on its own. It does smell like that streusel topping that you would put on a crumble, apple crumble, or even like a Dutch apple pie. It's what it smells like. It would be perfect as a mixer if you do want to amp up like a bakery note in a scent, like with baked apple pie, which to me is like apple pie filling. I don't get any sort of like crust note in that one. Add this, and then you get a crusty, streusel-y topping note to it. So it's very nice. I'm comparing it to Oats and Honey, which is in my club. I think Oats and Honey is stronger, which is probably why I won't be adding this one to my club. This wasn't light in any way, but comparison-wise between the two of them, Oats and Honey stands up performance-wise a little better for me than Crumb Top does. But Crumb Top is delicious. It's very yummy. So that is the number 10 spot. Then next up, this is the scent that I was comparing Spiced Berries to. It gets my number 9 position, Autumn Stroll. So Autumn Stroll is less sweet. There's not like berries per se. I can't even remember what the notes are. But you do get, it's a woodsy and spicy, and you do get like a crunchy leaves type quality to it. To me, it's almost a spicier version of First Day of Fall a little bit. That one is milder. This one's spicier, but woodsy at the same time. So the cinnamon it is cinnamon. That is like a cinnamon stick. And then woods and Another one that kind of reminds me of it is Cinnamon Pine Cones, the December scent of the month. Very similar, except without the evergreen that's in that one. And this one's a little stronger, melting on the cinnamon compared to Cinnamon Pine Cones. So, but they are similar, the type of same vibe to them, which I do love that one too. So Autumn Stroll made my number 9 spot. And I'm knocking things down now. I did end up liking that one better than Spice Berries this time around. So number 8 is Perk Me Up, which is kind of a surprise to me. I enjoy coffee scents for a tiny bit every once in a while, but it's not something to where I ever considered having it as high as it ended up being on this list. But this is very nice. It is a sweeter coffee scent. There's hazelnut. It's like Guatemalan coffee bean and hazelnut, I think, are the notes. It's coffee without any of the bitterness that I'm getting from hazelnut latte. But I do still get a little tiny bit of nuttiness to this. This is another one that would be really good mixing, like mixing it with vanilla cream or, you know, any other scent. You could even mix it with hazelnut latte to amp up the hazelnut part of it. And get more of a balance between coffee and hazelnut. So Perk Me Up was really good. I would consider getting more of that bar. It's just, like I said, I'm not huge into melting coffee scents, so I have to be in a certain mood to do so. So maybe I would get one more bar. I'm not sure, but I definitely wouldn't be opposed. I did enjoy it. So that is my number 8 spot. Okay. Number 7, which for those of you that know me, it's probably shocking that it's still that low on the list. That would be Apple Press. I am an apple girl through and through. I love my Johnny Appleseed. I love Jack's Obsession. I love Cider Mill, which for me is more apple than pumpkin. I'm just apple. Give me apple. And this one was wonderful. It is apple. It's apple and pear and roses. The roses makes it more perfumey. I don't smell it when it was melting. I didn't smell it and say, oh, I'm smelling rose or anything like that. But it gives it a more perfumey quality than, say, Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed is still my number 1. I still love that one so much. And then if you're talking just like straight up like apple, without any sort of spice. That's my favorite. So comparing it to that one still, by and large, for me, is better. But I did really enjoy it, which is why it is in my number 7 spot. If you're familiar with the scent of the month that came out a couple years ago, Appealing Apple, it's similar to that. A more perfumey apple. So it is nice. I did like it. That's why I got number 7. It's very good. Okay. Number 6 has to go to Rum Raisin Cookie. This is really yummy. On cold, it was fine. But when I melted it, it was very, very good. And this one was kind of tied with the next one. I was trying to decide between the two, but the longer I melted, I decided this would be number 6. So it is like, it reminds me of those Mother's cookies, those iced oatmeal Mother's cookies. You get raisin, you get a cookie note, and it is like kind of an oatmeal cookie. Like I said, those Mother's brand iced oatmeal cookies is what it smells like. It's very pleasant when it's melting, and it has a medium high-ish throw to it. So it was nice. I really liked it. I don't get like a alcohol note to it. Maybe it gives it extra like warmth. I don't know. I don't even really get that either. It's just a delicious Mother's iced oatmeal cookie. Okay, number 5 has to go to fried ice cream. This is delicious. This to me is like a combination of if you took churro and vanilla waves and stuck them together. So I do a Mix It Monday in my VIP group. And so on Monday, we always do a mix of scents to try out new scent combinations. So anyway, I think churro and vanilla waves is kind of what you're getting with this. It's so yummy. So it's like a cinnamon sugar, definitely not as cinnamony as rum raisin cookie. You get a good balance of the cinnamon and the sugar, and then you get a creamy vanilla ice cream to it. It's yummy. I really liked it. So it got number 5. Okay, number 4. This one was a surprise for me too. In that on cold it was fine, but not anything that I was like, oh, this is really good. Quiver. Quiver gets my number 4 spot. And I've been hearing this is kind of a controversial scent for people. They either love it or they hate it. We always have at least one in a Bring Back My Bar that is like that. But this one for me, I ended up really loving. I don't know what it is. I think I was reading what tuberose was. It's not an actual rose. It is more of like a white floral, similar in scent profile to jasmine. And jasmine is one of the florals that I do normally tend to like. Like I love Southern Evening, which was jasmine heavy. And so knowing that, I'm not super surprised that I ended up liking Quiver. So if you do like Southern Evening or any other sort of like sultry, bedroomy type fragrance, you may end up liking this one. Like Cashmere and Corduroy, although that one is sweeter, not floral like this one is. But along the same lines as that, Cozy Cardigan, you know, those like musky, sultry, bedroomy type of fragrances. This one is along those lines, and it's more of like a deep, sexy bedroom scent. It's really nice. And it's a good performer. So even though I say it's like a bedroom type scent, it really stood out in my open concept area downstairs. It really held its own. So like I said, it was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed it and didn't want to take it out of my warmers. So that's saying something. I'm trying to decide if I want to add it to my Scentsy club. I'm thinking I'll probably just get a couple bars and then I'll be okay. Because I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I'm not sure. But it's really good. So it took my number 4 spot. So that's Quiver. Okay. Number 3 has to go to Vanilla Cream. This is delicious, which I thought it would be on cold too. And thankfully I wasn't disappointed when it melted. It is a good performer, which vanilla scents sometimes can be light and disappointing when you melt it. But this one was good. It almost has like a cotton candy vibe, but not like a fruity cotton candy, like straight up spun sugar type of cotton candy without any flavoring. Vanilla-y, and it's so good. I know it says it has coconut milk. To my nose, I don't get coconut. This was another one I asked my husband, are you smelling coconut in this? And he said, yeah, he was getting coconut. So maybe if you're more sensitive to coconut, it might be an issue for you, but for me, it wasn't. Comparing this to Simply Vanilla, I guess had the same, pretty much the same notes as Vanilla Cream. I like this one better. This is more of a gourmand vanilla to my nose compared to Simply Vanilla, which was more of a floral French vanilla, more of like a body care vanilla, whereas this one is more of a bakery vanilla to me, but not to where it's like a vanilla bean buttercream, nothing like that. It's like straight up vanilla, creamy, sweet. This one's sweeter to my nose than Simply Vanilla was. I really like this one. This one is going in my club, at least for a little bit. It's delicious. It's one of those, again, that would be a fantastic mixer scent. But if you're a vanilla girl like I am and you just enjoy vanilla on its own, it's a great one. It's a good performer, at least a medium. So love vanilla cream. It got number 3 for me. Okay. I was dithering between these two as which one's number 1 and which one's number 2. I think I've decided. They're still kind of tied, but I think I'm doing this one. Number 2 is Mediterranean Spa. This one was a nice surprise. You get like a spa when it's melting. You do get a spa fresh vibe to it. To me, I kind of get it like a pineapple. I get like a lemony citrus. And then there's an undercurrent of it after the zing for the first couple hours of that like spa freshness, which I love that too. And then the bottom notes come out, and to me, it's like a sweet sandalwood. I don't know. There's something about this scent when it's melting that is just so good. I love it so much. So that is Mediterranean Spa, and it's getting my number 2 spot. It is in my club. Then number 1. I'm not surprised when I melted this that this ended up number 1. That is Autumn Blaze Maple. So a Scentsy heartbreak for me was when they got rid of Honey Pear Cider. And that was one of my all-time favorites from, like I said, since I've been buying all the way back in 2007, 2008, whenever it was that it came out. It was so good. And they just recently retired it. That was one that came back all the time. My point is, this one reminds me a lot of Honey Pear Cider, except apple instead of pear. So this is apples and pumpkins and a tiny bit of spice, and then it's maple in this. But the maple is not overwhelming. If you do like maple apple bourbon, it's also along the same lines as that one, except that one is like maple in your face. For me, this one is a lighter type of maple, more balanced with the rest of the fragrances in it. It's so good. If you're one of those that really don't like maple at all, it might be too mapley for you, but for me, I thought it was a perfect balance. Like I said, it ended up reminding me a lot of Honey Pear Cider, except stronger, because Honey Pear Cider is a lighter scent. So this one is a stronger version, of course, apple instead of pear. I do get the pumpkin in it though too. It's a really, really, really nice scent. This was one of those, along with the Mediterranean Spa, where I was like, I don't want to take this out. It smells so good. And usually I usually change my scents at least every day. Sometimes I'll do it like in the middle, like morning to the afternoon and the afternoon to the evening. I know it seems wasteful. If it's a scent I really love, I will pour it back into the clamshell so I can enjoy it again. Otherwise, I will, I have so many wax bars. So to me, as a scent addict, I don't feel like I'm wasting. Because I want to smell another scent. But my point being with this one is I loved it so much I didn't want to take it out. I ended up melting it for a couple days at least. It was so good. So anyway, so that's it, you guys. That is my after melting thoughts of all the Bring Back My Bars. They will be available through January 31st. Or if you create a club, a Scentsy club, you can get it forever or as long as you want the scent. So highly, highly recommend Scentsy Club. There's amazing perks. It's my absolute favorite thing for if, like I said, if you're a scent addict, you get super attached to scents. If you put them in your club, Scentsy will make them just for you for as long as you have them in your club. So highly recommend Scentsy Club. Lots of other perks as well. I'll leave that info down in the description for you, along with my regular website for you to shop from. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I appreciate all you guys. Have a wonderful day. Until next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.